Hi everybody, this is Todd with the Forex Nitty Gritty Insiders Daily video for Monday, May 21st, 2012. Hope you had a great weekend. We're kind of going to look at some shorter term charts here and see if we can get some help in identifying where we may be looking to trade the simple trading method. On this time frame, we're looking currently at a 30-minute chart, which means that each one of these bars represents a 30-minute time period. Now, as we look for the simple trading method setups, the first thing that we want to identify is the trend or the direction that things are heading in. And on the Aussie dollar 30-minute chart, we really don't have much of a trend. And I'm just going to outline this kind of what's been happening. We've just been chopping around here, and you can see that there's really no direction where we have a consistent level of higher highs and higher lows, or a lower lows and lower highs for a downtrend. We basically having our highs going down, but our lows are going up. We're forming this consolidation area where things are getting tighter and tighter in contracting that price movement. So when we see that, it's a little bit more difficult to determine whether we should be going long or short. Now, we can find areas of support and resistance and look to go long or short off of those areas as the price begins to move in one direction or the other. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put on here just a moving average to help us identify the potential trend that things are going in. And generally, we use the 40-period simple moving average to help us with knowing that that direction. Let's see what's going on here. That's good. Okay. So you can see here how kind of sideways and flat it's been moving, where we've got the prices above it, the moving average is kind of pointing up, but really not a strong trend for opportunities to trade. And so as we look at areas of resistance and as we look at the areas of support, you can see again that consolidation there, that it's just kind of moving within. Now, what we'd be looking for ideally is to see this break out and start to trend one way or the other. Now, as we look at what's happening here, is there a potential to take a trade as it begins to move down? And we look at where we're at right now and where the support level is, it's about 30 pips. And so on a short time frame, we may be able to look at that and say that it's enough pip movement in order to take a trade. So if we said that this is in a downtrend, we could actually look at shorting this in this sideways consolidation as it moves back down towards our level of support here. So the lowest low currently of the last three, let me blow this up, is going to be 1, 2, 3, is actually right here. So at that point, we probably wouldn't have enough to look at taking a trade in this. Now, in about a minute here, you're going to see another candle coming up. And what we're doing is we're really just identifying the closed candles so that we are only getting in once that movement has stopped for those candles. So we'll give this just a second, and as soon as we see the new candle come back up, we'll talk about how we'd make that adjustment. Alright, so the new candle just came up, and so now we've got 1, 2, 3 closed candles. Our entry would be actually at the lowest low of this candle here. And that's going to be the way it is for at least the next hour until we get at least 2 more candles coming up here. So we could enter in here as it moves down below this level. And we've got about 20 pips to the support area here, which would be worth taking a look at if it decides it wants to go down to that. So that's kind of what we're looking at in a sideways movement here, where the trend has not really been established and is not really strong in one direction or the other, is catching these moves as they come down from the resistance area or a bounce off of support. You can see that we had this bounce up here, it bounced down from there, and that's really what we're going to be looking at. Now, as we apply that same concept to other pairs, let's take a look at the euro dollar here, and we'll look for an opportunity to maybe take a trade here if it starts to bounce back down. Now the overall moving average is going up, but we're below that moving average, and if it does fail at this point, our entry into this would be below the lowest low of the last three, which would be right here. And at that point, the establishment of this downtrend will be in place. Let's take a look at the pound dollar. You can see the pound dollar, we would have just had an entry at the lowest low of the last three right here. We'd be up 5 pips or so at this point, but that would have been what we would have entered in if we had seen this about an hour ago, looking for it to begin to move back down. So nothing on the pound dollar at this point. The US CAD uptrend, we saw a bounce up. We actually would have had an entry right in here as this price moves above the highest high of the last three. Our stop loss would be down below the most recent low, somewhere down below here. So that one's actually one that we would have just gotten into if we were watching it. The 30-minute chart of the US Swiss franc, you can see that it's trying to move up here. We would definitely look at the highest high of the last three. Although it's starting to move down here a little bit. So not a real good setup maybe on that one for the simple trading method. And last but not least, the US Japanese yen. Moving average is going up. We're right down towards, we pulled back towards a little bit of support here. So if we look at this, the highest high of the last three is going to be right in here. So we do have a little ways for this to go before we'd actually get into it. So that's kind of the concept of what we want to do on a 30-minute chart. Is just look at the direction of the trend, support and resistance, and then identify when the setup occurs as it moves above the highest high of the last three or below the lowest low of the last three in order to enter into those positions. So if you have questions about this, let me know. If not, have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.